octave upstairs. But now let's look to the physics, how the tone emerges from a guitar. Well, you have a string, a one-dimensional object, and for the string there is a perfect wave equation. It's just not as electromagnetic wave, but a mechanical wave. So, in fact, when you play the guitar, let us expect that you hit the guitar exactly on the 12th metal insert. So just in the middle. If you excite the string just in the middle, so you move it a little bit, and the result would be that the string, which is fixed at both ends, would oscillate, and this would be just one half of a sine or cosine wave. So there if you could see it well, so that the magnitude is highest at the center, and of course it's fixed at the ends. And you will get the tone of the string, so it will be E, A, D, depending on the string, if well tuned. Well, now, this is not very nice to hear. If you have seen or heard a good guitarist, this is not what he does. He does not strike the string just at the 12th. But that would be harmonically pure, exactly the right tone. So what a good guitarist does? Well, what happens if you strike the string in a very special way? So now I will make another thing. I will get my left hand and put it on the 12th metal insert on the string. And I will, by my right hand, I would go to 1/4 of the length of the string and just tick it a little bit. With this, I do not leave the center of the string to move. But if I start ticking it, the string now would look like this when oscillating. It will have just 0 deviation at the place where it originally had the maximum deviation. And surprisingly, the tone is now 1 octave higher. So what I can hear now is the second harmonic of the first natural tone of the string. Again, normally guitarists do not do that. But now the string exhibits modes. It can oscillate in this way for the full length, or it can oscillate with the second mode, 1 full wavelength for the length of the string. This is easy to do with the guitar. Then you also might do more complicated things like damping the string at other positions and sticking it, and you will find out that the string also can oscillate in thirds, in quarters, and it's 67th of its length. And each time it produces a higher harmonic of the original tone, so it's 1 octave higher. And the nice tone of a guitar is produced as a composition of several harmonics or several modes of the string. So a mode is the way of possible oscillation on the string, and a good good guitarist is a master in evoking different mixtures for different songs and even different parts of the song. If I may suggest you, for example, to watch on YouTube Tommy Emmanuel, the fastest guitar player of the current world. He is a real master in tilting the guitar, in doing strange things with it to produce a harmonic mixture that is amazing. But after all, from the point of physics, he does that by mixing or by evoking different modes of all his 6 strings at the guitar. And as he is a master, he is capable of evoking different modes on this part of the string and this part of the string, but that's something very special. So modes are common to our life. We are used to that. At least all musical instruments are somehow creating modes of oscillations of different parts. May it be a string, that's quite simple. May it be a pile of air in an organ. May it be a two-dimensional oscillation like a drum. Then the modes are much more complicated, but still there are modes. And this is not something strange. We are used to that. Modes do exist, we know that. And again, the string normally oscillates with a mixture of at least 20 modes. Some of them you are capable to hear directly. Some of them you can't hear by themselves, but as a composition it changes the color of the tone. And so this is my description to modes in everyday life. Now, your questions. Okay, I had several questions as to the examination during the week, so we should possibly spend some time before the end of this lecture with additional information to examination. So first, the terms are already in COS information system, but you are not able to subscribe for the terms because first you need assessment. So after you ask Professor Machach for assessment, which is wise to do next week, not this week, because still the end of the term is far from now, he will put his assessment into the system and then it will let you to subscribe for the examination. Now, we should possibly describe the way how we shall carry out the distant form of the examination, I mean by internet. So first you will need a computer or a smartphone or anything with Microsoft Teams, a camera and a microphone. And earphones or speakers, loudspeakers or anything, so that we can communicate and I should be able to see you for the whole time of the written part of the examination as well as for the oral part. Now, the written part would look exactly like that for people that are present here, but it will be done through Microsoft Teams. So first, you subscribe for the examination. One day before the examination, the list of participants is closed and I can create a group in Microsoft Teams. So you will receive a message, you have been added to a group, examination, blah, blah, blah. Now, at the time of the examination, I will put a PDF of the questions and tasks into that group, into files of that group, so that you will be able to access that through Microsoft Teams. Once you see it, you can start working. And you will use your own sheet of paper, you will put down the solution, and once you do that, you will scan it or make a photo using your mobile phone and send that to my email no later than 2 hours from the start of the exam. So I will receive your written part as a JPEG or PDF, or I don't know what you will be able to create, and I will print it, I will assess it, I will mark it, grade it, and the result would be the same day as the written part has been carried out, the same day it would be input into the course. So for example, I will see your written part, you will get 30 points out of 40 possible, which is 75%, and that gives you the mark C. So I will put C into the information system. Now you will watch your result, and there are two possibilities. You think you can do better or not. If you are happy with the mark, you just do nothing and the result will be kept there forever, or let's say for next 5 years. If you are not happy with the result, then you have to contact myself. That might be done by email, or I will make a doodle for examination, oral examination times. It will be always added to the material of the written part on the day of the exam. And you have one extra day to do it. So if we write the written part on Monday, I will correct it on Monday and put it into COS. And you have the whole Tuesday up to midnight to decide whether you want to continue to oral part or not. If you decide to continue, then we have to agree on some time in Microsoft Teams. We will carry out the oral part, which may again consist from solving tasks, for example. But it's called the oral part, and sometimes you succeed to improve your mark, sometimes not. It depends on your knowledge, and it cannot be predicted now. So if you succeed to improve your mark, I will change it into COS, and we are done. So it's important that if you complete all the tasks and reply all the questions, then you get 40 points out of 40. I will put you A into the system, and you do not need to bother for oral exam. But to be sure, check it. Possibly you made some mistake and it looks like B. So you think over whether you will bother to oral exam or not. If you decide to bother, then you have to write me and we will proceed. Is that procedure clear?
Yes. I have two questions.
Okay.
First of all, like we should obtain half of the points to pass the subject, yes?
If you want the E mark, you should obtain half of the possible points, yeah.
And like just say if I have E, so should I participate on oral exam, or it's not compulsory?
Well, if you have had 21 points, which is a clear half of the points possible, then if I put it into COS and you do nothing, I consider that you liked the E result and it's valid. And you do not go to the oral exam. But if you get 19 points, I will put you F into the system.
Okay,
and you see F, that's not what I wanted to get, and you will ask, and well, you will see F, that might mean 1 point or 19 points. In the case of 1 point, that would be extremely difficult to reach E within the oral exam. Still possible, but not easy. But if you had 19 points, it's somehow likely that you might make it. So then, of course, we should proceed to the oral one.
Okay, I got it. Thank you very much.
Sorry, but what if I have, for example, an E, and I go to the oral exam and I'm quite worse, so can I get an F from the oral exam?
Well, normally it can happen, but I will not do it this year because of coronavirus. So I will not worsen your mark, but it's a special arrangement for the coronavirus time.
Okay, thank you very much.
But that does not mean that I give you first task, you fail, so it's moving to F, but you said give me another task, and then we have a limited time to do that. I do not believe that after 20 failed tasks you will deliver 21 good tasks. So normally there is the feedback that a task could worsen your result. I have cancelled out this feedback, but we will not go examining forever, of course.
And sir, how much questions will be on the test? Like,
Well, in the test, it's quite, it's given in the Moodle, but anyway, there are 10 questions out of the list of, I think, 42 questions that are already known from the beginning of the year, like put down 4 Maxwell equations or things like that. All those are marked by 0, 1/2, or 1 point each. So there are at maximum 10 points from the theory. And then there are 3 tasks, each for 10 points.
okay.
Are there any more questions? Well, if there are no more questions, we have more or less reached the end time of the lecture.
Excuse me?
Yes?
There is a classmate is asking in chat, how will the tasks be like?
Well, okay.
Tasks and
Well,
problems.
possibly you should visit my webpage. Or haven't I put it into... Just a moment. I will check this group in Microsoft Teams. Well, okay, I will add into this group of Microsoft Teams a sample examination work, one that has been used 1 or 2 years ago, so that you will see the complexity of the tasks and the questions that could be from the theoretical part. Is that fine with you?
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be a good example.
Yeah, so the example would be here. Just wait a moment. I can do it possibly instantly. Well, I will do it just after this lecture ends, because I will have to move my computer to my dock station with the other disk. But anyway, I will put it there, so you will see it there in 10 minutes. Now, are there more questions? Well, in the case there are no more questions, it's been a pleasure to lecture for you today. There will be, of course, a consultation next Monday and then another lecture next week in which we will somehow handle the waveguide with a little bit more equations to get a mathematical background to solve something there. And at the same time we will handle transmission line, as that's something that for you at this time strangely, but you will understand it a week later, transforms impedance along its length. And that's a major trick for radio frequency engineers. So this is the content of our next lecture, which will take place next Tuesday, and I will be happy to meet you again 1 week later. Have a nice day.